It's the year 2050 and the term "okay millennial" is trending. What are the reasons the young generation is using it? They won't stop making edgy suicide jokes. Grandma, my pet fish died. God, I wish that was me. When whatever smartphones become are implanted in our eyes, our generation will be like, I just like the feel of a real phone, you know. You're dead when your body dies. Period. You're not real anymore. You're just some damn digital fantasy who thinks you're still that person. I remember the good old days when we used keyboard and mouse or a controller. Kids these days can't live a day without using brainwave controls. All that generation wants to do is marry their sex robots, and it's disgusting. It will probably be us telling them every new technological advance is just a new way for the government and companies to spy on them. Even if the laws change and you do have more privacy, I feel like our generation will always be suspicious. Edit. Thank you for the silver, anonymous internet friend. Also, I wanted to add that I echo the sentiments that many of you have stated below, and while the news makes it feel like everything is getting shittier, I'm thankful there are enough people like many of the commenters here who remain committed to learning from the past and making decisions that influence the future in a positive way. And, as several other Redditors have stated, not all VPNs are created equal. I encourage you to use one, but do your research first. I feel like my generation is going to be very against I rights, and civil rights will be the issue of the future. I could easily see older versions of my generation being like, no, you can't marry that. Marriage is between two people, robots are not people, and if statement can't love you. Okay millennial. We can't stop posting 90s kids memes on Instagram, which at that point is the Facebook of our generation. Okay millennial. Car ownership and driving will die with self-driving cars, ducking millennials running over everyone with their cars. Edit. My first silver, and it wasn't the post where I come in my own face. I call that a win. Edit 2. Comment with story to other man's story of a similar incident. https://www.reddit.com /AskReddit comments orb guadas the weirdest sexual experience have 3 sfw4h. Ut medium Android app at source share. Today, ducking boomers with their houses they afforded with a janitor job. 2050, fucking millennials all inheriting their houses from their grandparents. Us having to explain that we got up for school 5 a.m. and would have to wait in the cold for a shitty bus. Some big catastrophic event happens millennials, May. The Simpsons predicted it 40 years ago. Younger gen, okay, millennial. I feel like in the best timeline our kids are gonna say okay millennial when we're old and can't shake being hyper suspicious, and going off the handle about having to rise up and fight for every damn thing, even though it's not necessary anymore. Old me, don't trust your boss. They're always trying to screw you. Keep meticulous paper trails, and if they ask you to do something, make sure you're keeping track of any overtime, and for the love of God don't ever sign anything. Okay millennial. We will still be meme addicted, but we'll be still using the memes that should have been lost and forgotten. Tide comes in, tide goes out, you can't explain that. You thought this meme was dead? New Oop Shock Testa. No one will get it and everyone will be rolling their eyes at us. Back in my day a townhouse cost $600,000 and a college degree only earned you $12 hour. And everyone made fun of us saying that we were lazy and emotionally fragile, but it was the boomers' fault. Okay, millennial. They do not realize that in the days before the invention of the Hypno-Pillow, it was possible to not get a perfect night's sleep every time. And I will burn the city to cinders before I allow my daughter to marry Conceptual Identity Matrix 69T as her second co-wife. Esoteric constructs are not people. Edit. Holy shit, my first gold. Thank you, kind stranger. You think it's that far away? The first millennials will be 40 in less than 2 years. Epstein didn't kill himself. Okay, millennial. Attention, if you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer linked to asbestos exposure. Exposure to asbestos in the Navy, shipyards, mills, heating, construction or the automotive industries may put you at risk. Please don't wait. Call 1-800-99-LAW-USA today for a free legal consultation and financial information packet. Mesothelioma patients call now. 1-800-99-LAW-USA. OK, millennial. We won't stop quoting vines. The kids of 2050 think Grandpa is crazy. Talking about fantastical things like winter, fast food, electricity. Back in my day I couldn't afford a thing and had to avoid plastic. Now you've got your fancy biodegradable perfect for everything known to human. What's it, okay, millennial? I just think that brain chips have ruined what it means to be a kid. No one's texted each other in years, no one even looks at what their friends are posting. They just spend all their time in the digispace, pretending to be in the same room with each other. Ridiculous. Okay, millennial. There will be some sort of new, ducked-up porn out that even us millennials will say WTF to. We will be telling the kids, back in my day, we used to watch Japanese anime porn for fun. What happened to that? Okay, millennial. Marijuana is great. But to legalize bath salts and antifreeze? Now that's just plain wrong. Okay, millennial. We did everything we could to stop the climate collapse. Okay, millennial. Saying back in my day, us kids had a childhood without Google, we'd use encyclopedias. In 2050 it's basically the Fallout universe, so everyone is struggling to survive and meet basic necessities, but the millennials keep talking about all the fancy tech gadgets they had growing up. Me in the year 2019, when I was your age, we actually played video games, not any of this streamer or let's play crap. My nephew, watching a TF2 game. Okay, millennial. Grandpa is giving them the old "you call that dancing? This is dancing." Followed by breaking his hip while trying to floss. PSH, Grandpa's trying to raise minimum wage again. It's been tied to inflation since forever, old dude. Yay, back in your day a broken leg cost $20K and college left you with $200K student loans, uphill both ways. Post-apocalyptic Earth 2050, group huddling in an abandoned Walmart housing complex in San Fernando Valley. Jayzieth, group leader, Generation XX 5-man 20, we must smash as many cockroaches as possible, gather them. Everyone put them into this straining mechanism and we can all have a tablespoon of protein to get through the day. Tomorrow, we set out by foot to meet the others at the beach to sift through the sludge in a refurbished boat, tear 6 miles of sludge before we reach actual ocean water. Some will die, but the voyage may take us somewhere with cleaner water, and less flesh-eating Google Plus users. Paul, millennial man, 75, when I was your age, I would press a button on my iPhone and get condoms, weed, whiskey and a pizza delivered to me in 20 minutes. Those days were lit AF fam. Jayzieth, group leader, Generation XX 5-man 20, okay, millennial. Paul dies from dysentery the next day 1 mile into the voyage. I mean, just scroll through Twitter for a while and you'll get your answer. You're not my real son. You were a clone from the first time you went through Amazon teleporting services TM. Yay, okay, millennial. See you after school. Blip. A theory behind teleportation is that it just scans, kills, and clones you on the other side. I will never use them if we get that far. Ugh, for the last time, Gramps, I don't care about this Trump thing. It was 34 years ago. No, I don't want to see your iPhone. Our version of Boomer hates his wife cartoons will be Millennial wants to die memes. Housing is affordable again and the millennials complain how they could barely make rent or only finance a tiny house. And if they lived in a bigger house it was only because it was inherited. Because even if it's not the exact same situation as the boomers, we'll become old fogies just like all generations tend to do as they age. I imagine that younger generations will be angry at us for not doing more to mitigate climate change. They'll probably be right. It's funny. Got tired of saying okay boomer. We won't look up from our phones, or stop munching our avocado toast. It's all cyclical. The younger generation will view millennials as flighty and easily distracted by emotionally charged propaganda that confirms their worldview. People age, they gain status and comfort, and they become convinced that it was their morality and understanding that resulted in that. Once the world turns and the steps needed to do the same changes, the younger generations will ultimately resent the older for not having to adapt to the nature of those changes.